I'm so glad you guys have decided to come and hang out with us this evening. We are still in the desert of Arizona. I'm really happy to have found this place. I was driving around earlier today, just not finding what I was looking for. I think I was in something called like High Jolly or something, and it was just like so full, and I was just sort of like getting kind of worried about where I was going to stay tonight. So right now I am actually on, I think it's called like a Tyson Road. It's not the Tyson Wash BLM land, but it's like trust land. And at first I was a little bit like worried that I wasn't gonna be able to stay here because it said like no trespassing. But then I went online and I saw where there were reviews on the apps, and it does seem to be like a viable place. So I'm so glad that I came here. I just stumbled onto it by accident. And yeah, I just came up here and it's just a much nicer vibe. Nothing against the other site I was at, but there were just a lot of people. I'm in Quartzsite, Arizona right now. Some of you may be familiar with that. I was attending sort of like a conference today. It's called the WRTR, like the Women's Rubber Tramp Rendezvous meeting. And it was just a very nice activities going on. And so because of that, I am camping in this area. So I thought we would have a cozy car camping night tonight. It is extremely windy. Thing I'm really excited to show you guys is that I have rearranged my car again. I really think that this just fits my lifestyle better. I was having a really hard time before accessing, especially like my food and stuff. It was just getting to be a major headache. So I want to show you kind of around like what I've done and why I moved my bed. So the main reason that I moved my bed was because I did not realize how much I would actually be accessing this back seat. This has become kind of like a catch-all, and it is very helpful when I just need to grab something like my jet foil or a tripod or a leash. You can hang all these bags that have like different stuff. You can't even see like how many bags are on here, but there are so many bags that I have like technology, was to be like power cords and all this stuff. And so I was really just finding that the more I was utilizing this, my bed was like disappearing like every day. The more I was like, oh, I can put my towel up here, I can put my carbon monoxide detector, I can put my flashlight, I can put my solar lights, I can put my journal. And the more excited I got about that, it's like every night I was just like, am I growing? Or no, I think my bed is getting shorter because obviously the more I was putting on here, it was leaving me with just hardly any room here for sleeping. So I went ahead and I just have my bed here now, and it is so much nicer. I slept so well last night. I stretched all out. It was perfect. Something else I did was I put my camp chair in this spot, and I just love this because if I want to edit or just sit not on the bed, it's a perfect spot for it. However, I don't usually get that spot to myself very often. This also gives Parker a nice little spot for himself. He does not sleep there because he usually likes to come and get in his sleeping bag or crawl up next to me, but it still gives him an option to have a little area that's his own. And I will find that during the day he will retreat to that area, and sometimes when I'm driving he likes to sit there too. Okay, so like I said before, it was just getting way too chaotic with my trying to have my, before, if you saw my other videos, I kept my like food bin, like my dry pantry here. I was keeping that like over there. I was having trouble like accessing it, and that's not good. So I went ahead and I just put that stuff here, and I still have like all of my like cooking supplies and like my Hot Logic and my pots and my pans, and that's not supposed to be in there, and dishes. And I did decide to put like some foods up here because sometimes like when I get like, if I get like really hungry and I'm like at and I'm driving or something, I can find myself making an excuse to get fast food. So it's like, oh, I can't access my food. No, there is absolutely no reason to buy a donut when I have these right here. There is absolutely no reason to go to Taco Bell when I have these here. I have cheese in my cooler. I can always make a taco. I can even warm it up. So I will show you guys my cooler right now. This is the first time that I've ever done this. After letting the ice in there for not quite 24 hours like I was supposed to, but for quite some time. So I went ahead, I got things like eggs, I got yogurt. I love this brand, it's so good. Although food, I bought food in California and it was really expensive. It was very expensive in California. I know I shouldn't have bought prepackaged foods, but anyway, but I got like lots of cheese, and I got a rotisserie chicken because I thought that was like fairly well priced. And it's so weird, like these things, like I always buy these in Minnesota, but they're like twice as big in Minnesota. So I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, so I got my thing all filled up, so that's exciting. I have like several videos that I need to edit, so I'm gonna work on those videos and we will meet back up for dinner and for sunset. Welcome back. Okay, so the wind has definitely died down, but it is very chilly outside. It's like in the 40s right now, and with the wind, I mean the wind has died down, but still with the wind, I think it feels like it's colder than it is. So we're not going to cook outside tonight, but we are going to cook inside because it's a cozy evening inside the car. By the way, speaking of van, I have an update on my van. And I guarantee you it's not what you think it is. More in a second. Okay, so there's a lot of controversy around this. The Hot Logic. And we're not going driving. We're just going to sit here in the camper, and we're going to cook our tamales. I got these at Albertsons. And we're going to cook our cheese and green chili tamales actually just in the car. Like, we're just going to run it off of the battery and hope we start our car tomorrow morning. I know it's wild, but like some people actually on other people's YouTube channels actually get like upset that they're like, oh, you're doing it wrong. It doesn't work like that. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out if we can just use this running off of the car battery. And if it fails to cook, then I'll just turn the engine on for a few minutes because these things do not take long at all. Okay, while I'm putting these into my Hot Logic, I'm going to tell you all about my van. I know I've gotten a lot of new subscribers since I last talked about my van. And for those of you who have been with me for the long run, I don't even have to say anything. You just know, don't you? Okay, well, anyway, the last time I updated on my van, I said that there was a homeless person like living in my van, or like my old boss like thought that somebody was living in my van. And that kind of put a damper like on my plans. Well, sort of. I was trying to figure out what to do because I was thinking about renovating the van. And this is a van that I used to live in. It was a minivan, but unfortunately it broke down. I was doing DoorDash in this van. I was doing like Uber Eats. I was doing like Grubhub. I was doing eBay. I was doing flea markets. I was doing so much crap out of this van. And the van, it was too much for the van. And I bought it old, and yeah, so the van broke down. It was a very bad situation. And so, but I had this sort of like idea that I was going to renovate the van because the engine blew, and so I was going to fix the van. But I can now say that I am officially not going to be replacing the engine in the van because my old boss, she messaged me yesterday and she told me that a retaining... I'm trying not to laugh. I mean, it's not funny. Like, thank God no one got hurt. Thank God. Like, a retaining wall, like, fell on my van. like this is God's way of like being like, okay, we're not fixing the van, because this is like pretty dramatic. So yeah, like this wall, they had like some kind of storm or something, and then it fell on my van. It fell on other cars too, but yeah, this is what happened. Okay everyone, so how that went was I just let it run off of my car battery, and yeah, it was fine. I did start my engine a few times just to make sure that like I didn't drain my battery or something, but I didn't. So after about an hour and a half, it's definitely hot enough and cooked like well enough through. So let's see what it looks like. There it is. How it's so flaky. Yum. Let's try it. It's really good. I really like it. I'm gonna eat my dinner, jump in my PJs, and let's see each other at sunset, okay? There's nothing new going on around here. So if something exciting happens, I will film it. But if nothing exciting happens, we'll see each other at sunset.